Actually, I think rules of engagement are very important, and I don't necessarily like that term, rules of engagement, but I like, leadership. Discussing things with employees is a very important part of being a leader, but also having things written down, documented, a policy and procedure manual.
Well, rules of engagement to me sounds aggressive. As a gun guy, rules of engagement have a different meaning to me. So I think leadership is a better way to put it.
Leadership, servantship, discipleship. I can agree that the rules of engagement doesn't fit necessarily what I do on a one-on-one basis, interacting with a client.
I think the thing that I got from it was, and I don't think I had really given it much thought before, is that it has to be written down, and it should be something that you review continuously, so that you set the standard for what you expect when you're there and when you're not there.
One of the things for me is not only that, but making sure that all of my team is involved with the engagement process, not only as to how we're going to engage the customer, but I want my team to know that if someone engages us in a negative way, treats one of them poorly, that they need to get off the phone with that customer and let me handle it. I do not allow folks to engage my people to talk harshly to them or ugly to them. If that happens, they're going to get to talk to me.
For me, I've been in leadership for quite a few years in my civilian life and my military life. And the biggest thing is when you do have those rules, you lead by those rules. You don't defer from those rules for yourself. You lead by those rules and lead by example.
Something that's written down, that's documented, also leads to quality improvement. You have something that you can refer back to, and hopefully as your business grows, you're making some changes, you're making adjustments, and you're getting better at what you do.
But I think the most important piece is setting that expectation. It's kind of like our commitment to culture. I think when we were all signing off on that, we had no idea what we were signing up for. But it kind of sets the standard of what Master Networks is about, and it kind of helps us stay within the confines of that.
Those rules don't only apply to internal, but they also apply to external, to your customers. I mean, treat them like you want to be treated as a customer. I'm a single owner. I'm the one-man show, and so I treat my customers just like I would want somebody to treat me. It's the same.
And so those rules of engagement are not just internally, but like it's been discussed, it's how you treat your customers also. Those things are a guiding light to treating your customers, and your customers are everything. They are your base of business. Without them, without some type of document on how to treat your customers, you're going to go out of business.
Or even your prospects. I mean, there should be some sort of written rule of engagement for how you treat people that you just come into contact with in your everyday life, in your business, because whether we believe it or not, that first point of contact is what people think that they're buying into. Yep. So we have to make sure that that expectation is set as well.
Absolutely. Well, I think like Brian said, we set the standard. Mm-hmm. as the leaders of our business, and Jeff said it, we set the standard. How do we treat not only our people, but how do they see us interact with everybody that comes into our business? How do they see us interact when we're out in public with them? That is going to be what they see us do, mm-hmm. and that is that affects how they're going to treat what ultimately is my customer.
Leadership pretty much dictates the culture of the organization. So if you have bad leadership, it's going to be a less desirable culture in your business.
Mm-hmm. So this is how I will implement this into my business. I'll make sure that on a more regular basis that we talk about this in our weekly meetings, rather than letting time slip and letting this become a secondary issue. Make sure that it's front and center to my team every week.
And I think I'm going to do a better job of making sure I have things written down. They're only as good as long as they stay in your head. So having it written down will serve me well.
For me, being just a one-man show, it's feedback. Ask for feedback from my customers and the people that I deal with on a regular basis. And I can take that feedback and alter my ways of interacting and constantly build on that and make it better and better every day.
And I can agree with all three of them. So feedback is very important. Written documentation is very important. Talking about it more often is very important. I sometimes get bogged down in, looking at documentation and looking at numbers. And I think a lot of what I do should be more of discussing things and looking for feedback.
More relational.
And that's the good thing about Master Networks, because in our chapters, we're all friends and we feel comfortable giving feedback that sometimes isn't positive, and so that's what Master Networks does for me, is all these people are helping me build my business, and I know they have my back, and they will tell me, hey, that is good, or you need improvement on this.